Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I just thought I would make a video and let people know that I live with my mom, which is nice, but at the same time my mom wants me to live on my own, which is great and everything, and my mom would like that because she wants me to be on my own and support myself and all that matter. I'm just trying to do the best I can for myself. Everyone, please give me prayers and let me know what you all think of my life in a way, because I would like some, advice and stuff. So that way I can get a feel of what people think. I don't want to go off what they think. I just want to know what they think of what I'm doing. Maybe I can change something. And I'm willing to change anything if there's anything that need to be changed. So what I'm getting at is that I have an apartment coming up. It's government assistance. I have government money and all that to support myself. I go and hang outside and go do things like take a walk, go skateboarding, go scootering, and stuff like that. Take long walks. I really like that a lot. Go and explore the woods and stuff like that, and try to make sure that I'm doing something fun, because I like to stay busy. You know, that's just going outside to stay busy all day. Oh, and my mom has a pool that we're going to put up this summer. For the last couple of summers we had a pool and we had that up. I went swimming a lot with my nephew and stuff. So we got a new pool this year and we're going to put that up. And my nephew's going to come over a lot and swim. And I really like that. And I enjoy my nephew as much as I can. Yeah. It's all good in that aspect. You know, family has their ups and downs, but we all get through it. I went through a phase where I went and had time to think for myself, and I lived 2021 on my own pretty much. Well, let me tell you the story. It went 2020, well, it was 2017 when I got with Jacob, August 6th, the day after the library opened downtown, which was in Dayton, Ohio. And the day before that was August 5th when the library opened up downtown Dayton, Ohio. Well, anyway, me and Jacob were talking for a little while, and then we ended up together on August 6th, which was nice, and we stayed together. He comes over to my apartment that I had in Kettering, because I used to live in Dayton, and then I moved over to Kettering. They both were government assistants. I can tell you that much. But me and Jacob stayed together for a very long time, and it got to be 2021. At least I got to bring the new year in with him. It was the third day into the new year when things fell apart. I'm not going to explain every detail, but I went to my mom's that night, he went to his mom's, and then I texted him and said, can I come back? He said, sure, but I'm not home. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, when are you coming back? And he goes, I don't know when. So I came back home, stayed there by myself, and pretty much been there ever since. And it was January 4th of that year of 2021. Jacob came back and grabbed his stuff and left. But in all aspects, it turned out to be one miserable time for me because I was trying to look for a rebound at one point because I wanted to get back at Jacob, but didn't work out. Didn't look for nobody. Well, I did look for somebody, but nobody was willing to give me time of day or anything, so I stayed to myself, and finally it got to be close to February when I finally got with this guy named Michael. But in the end, it turned out to be terrible because he cheated on me, and I don't believe in cheating. I don't like cheating, and I never will. And so, and to this day, Michael still calls me and everything, and he's in prison and all that. He stole cars and received stolen property and stuff like that. And I feel bad for Michael, and I wish he could get better in some aspects, but I don't think he will. And I know so much about Michael because of his mother, but I'm not getting into all that. But what I'm getting at is that took Jacob back to him. It took him 10 months to talk to me. Finally, one day I was at the bus hub, and come to find out, I looked over and went, "Oh shoot, there's Jacob, there's Jacob. Just walk outside, just walk outside. Everything will be alright." So I go outside, light up a cigarette. Next thing I know, here comes Jacob coming outside. And he looked at me and I looked at him. And he said, "Can I sit down right here?" I said, "Sure." Me and him got to talking. I started crying really bad and everything. My friend Allie was right there too. So she knew everything, and Allie's been right there beside me ever since me and Jacob's been talking and hanging out. And yeah, I did try to get back with him and stuff like that. He said one day maybe we can get back together and stuff, but in all aspects we got our closure, and I stayed a night with him and sometimes and talk and play games and just goof off, and just it's better if we stay friends, and that's what I would like. And there's other things going on like that too, like, well, since we're going to stay friends, that means, oh, and by the way, April 20th 2019 we ended up married. And then a few months later was July 1st is when he moved in with me. And we lived together up until 2021, January 3rd. And then that was it. I haven't lived with him since. But I do stay the night with him sometimes here and there recently in 2022, which is nice and all. I'm going to be living in the same building as him, which is kind of nice. Not in the same apartment, though. But I did some paperwork on Jacob. Not in a bad way. We both agreed that divorce is what is going to happen. So, that being said, I'll be able to take my ring finger rings off. I switched them onto this hand, so that way people don't think I'm married. Even though I want them to think it, but I can't. That's wrong. I need people to understand that divorce is the best way for us. And that's what it's going to be. Because we're better off friends. And I like it that way because we're a lot better that way. And I'm proud for what the outcome came to be. So if I was you, I would really hope to God that when someone gets married, make sure it's going to be the best thing ever. Make sure that being married is what you really want to do. Because it can fail like it did me and Jacob, but in the end it turned out pretty good because we're friends now. And I'm glad for that. And sometimes marriage can be really good, but then it can also fail. It's good for the moment, and then that moment settles down and dies down, then you really get to see the big picture of how you both act in the relationship. And then one person will get tired of the other person, or the other person will get tired of the other person. So I'm saying it goes both ways. But enough of that. Yeah, I'm single and just living life and doing what I can to get out of my mom's house, because I'd rather live on my own and do what I do, because I like living with my mom, but there's issues in some aspects, but I'm not going to get into. But at the same time, we fix it and it gets done and everybody goes back to being happy. It's just I made some life choices last year in 2021 that I didn't really like moving from the place in Kettering, because I let a guy that I really liked pretty much kick me out, because I wasn't really worried about housing. I was more worried about a relationship, and I shouldn't have been worried about a relationship. But stayed with him for a while. Moved in with Jamie and John. Well, this was about March 24th of 2021 when I moved out of where I was living in Kettering. Went to Jamie and John's place. Stayed there for about 4 months. 3-4 months, something like that. We had to move out in July. Well, the end of June, beginning of July, something like that. And that was terrible. I won't ever want to live with somebody again. I like Jamie and John. I want to live with them again. But I think it's best if I just go my separate way. But, because me, Jamie, and John all had some issues. But we cleared it up. We go back and forth. It happens. But miscommunication. But on that note, I love you, Jamie and John. I love you guys. But to live with, maybe not. I'm sorry, okay? Not to be mean or nothing. Not trying to diss on how you guys live. Because we all live terrible. We all live good. It all goes in one. But we know how to fix it and we know how to ruin it. So it all goes on how our actions are. And so then from there, I got a house with my friend Brian and his cousin, and some girl moved in too, because Brian's cousin let her move in because Brian said she could, and me and her got into it a couple of times, and she wanted to beat me up, but Brian and his cousin stopped that and stuff. But there was some miscommunication and all that jazz, and it all worked itself out in the end, and we all had to move out. So then I was like, where am I going to go now? See what I'm saying? I ended up moving from place to place to place because I couldn't find a stable home, because I was living with others thinking that was going to solve my problem, but in reality it's not. So I went down to the public housing and got on their waiting list. They said it could take 6 months to a year or more. So I'm like, okay. So, well, then I moved in with my friend Colin. Stayed there for a while. Then I moved in with my mom. Got trespassed from the place I was living at in Kettering, all because they thought I was moving in with Colin when I wasn't. So it all takes its course and stuff, and so live with my mom right now and doing the best I can. And yep, I have 2 cats, but one ran away when I moved to the house down in Dayton. Well, I had one cat left. And then the guy I was dating, his name was Robert. I dated him for about 2 months, and he vanished on me and said that he couldn't deal with the relationship anymore and that I was too much and that I changed a lot. So he didn't like the way I was. So I don't really care. At least me and him are friends, I guess. I don't know. I really don't care. But I left that alone. So, well, I said some things to him, and he said some things to me, but it's whatever. We all worked it out in the end. But, well, when I was dating the guy, Robert, he ended up giving me a kitty cat. And his name was Ozzy. Yep. But my roommate really wanted Ozzy, so I let my roommates have him. I'll be able to check in on Ozzy anytime I want, they said. So, yay. Ozzy has a good home and always will. Okay. Well, that's a little bit about me. That I went through life choices and stuff. But what I'm going to say is that living in government assistance is the best route for me because I only get so much money a month from the government. And that doesn't qualify me to live out there where they check your credit and all this and see how much you need to live and all that. I had a couple of jobs in between all that too. Like a McDonald's job, then the Wendy's job, then the Popeyes job. And then I waited like a year or two? It was last year when I ended up going back to Wendy's. And then I haven't had a job since. But I did apply for Domino's. But they said they're only doing drivers right now, hiring them. So from there, I have to wait till there's an opening on the inside. Then I can get hired if they want to hire me and if they think I'm a good candidate for it. So that's all that's being said. My dad's doing good, and my dad has his own issues, and I wish he could get better in some aspects, but I'm not going to speak on that. But at least my dad has government assistance and getting help and doing all this and the other. He lives with his mom and everything, and I get to talk to him sometimes, and everything works out in weird ways, but it works out, obviously. But I just want people to understand that I have a terrible life sometimes, but it takes being that low in life to come out good in the end. Because now I have an apartment waiting for me when they have an apartment open in Dayton. It's Kettering/Dayton area. It's not that far from Kettering, but I can't wait to move in. When I do move in, I don't know when that is because they said it's a wait like 4 to 6 months, or is it 6 to 8? I don't remember, but it's one of them. Well, I gotta wait. It's all that there is to it. I don't want to have to wait, but I just gotta be patient. So I'm doing pretty well for myself, looking for a job, maybe get into college. Yeah, try to get to that because I had never been into college. But I don't have money to even go to college. I really don't. But I'll find stuff to... Oh, and then when I stay busy, I gotta stay busy because that's just how I am. Especially when I'm inside the house, I clean the house and do the dishes and sweep the floor and vacuum the floor and mop the floor and clean the bathroom and the toilet and bathtub and everything that goes into the bathroom. Everything that you have to do to clean. I cook. I'm a really good cook. Very, very good cook. Excellent cook. Everyone should try my food sometime. Well, wish me luck And this summer should be fun with my nephew and everybody else out there. I just want to do the right thing and make sure that I'm not disappointing anyone. And if I'm disappointing people, that's not okay, because then people are just going to be very disappointed in me and thinking that everything I do is wrong and everything I do is not the best choice. I don't want people thinking that. I want people thinking that I do the right choice and doing what I need to do to make myself happy and making everyone else happy around me. Because if I'm miserable, then everyone around me is miserable, and I don't like that. I want to be happy so everyone around me is happy. So I'm doing what I can to survive. So everyone wish me the best of luck and just be happy for me. And my birthday's coming up on the 28th of this month. Yep, February. Well, bye.